These are the 9 harsh truths that took me from a simp to a playboy. When I was in high school, I was absolutely clueless around girls. I would make every single mistake and I was really uncomfortable around the pretty ones. I would sometimes give them compliments, but it would never actually go anywhere. But now, after having gone through all the good and the bad that comes with being a playboy for the last 4 years, these are the lessons that I wish I knew when I was in high school. And the first lesson is that no girl is special and treating her like a princess is only gonna ruin your chances. So in my senior year of high school, I finally started to talk to some girls. And there was one girl that I really found attractive. And I was too scared to talk to her, so I got her snap from a friend and started giving her compliments. And as you can imagine, this never led anywhere. She actually was turned off by it. She ended up leaving me on red one day. But a couple months later, I was at a party and she was there with her friends, and I was still obsessed with her. So I wanted to get with her, but I wasn't really paying her friend too much attention. I was just talking to her a little bit, and we all ended up hanging out at my house after. And then by just treating her friend like a normal person and just being there, being a nice, friendly guy, she wanted to get with me. So this goes to prove the point that if you pedestalize a girl, if you're giving her compliments, you're not going to get anywhere with her. She's not going to really see you as the man. But if you're just hanging around being a nice, friendly, fun person, you're going to be able to get with so many more girls. I promise you this is how it works. And boys, if you want all my Playboy secrets, ones that I cannot share on YouTube because they will get me banned, you can grab those for free. It's the first link in the description below. And the second lesson is that girls don't respect a man who is scared or intimidated by them, and especially by their beauty. Now, about a year ago, there was a girl who I was seeing casually. She was older than me by 5 years, and she had a very snappy attitude. And once we were getting to know each other a little bit more, sometimes that snappiness would leak out when we would have like a little bit of a heated conversation, and I would say something controversial, maybe about like gender roles, and she would get all mad. And she was usually expecting some sort of emotional reaction back, but I would just laugh and be like, "You're cute." And then she would, and then maybe like give her a kiss or something, and we would like play fight, but it was never anything too serious. I didn't really care that we were arguing. I wasn't scared to lose her, wasn't scared to argue with her. I would just play it off like it was no big deal, and things always blew over after. It was never that serious. And this is kind of how I was acting. And I remember when I was younger, with a girl that I dated at 19, I was so scared to lose her that I would be like, "Oh no, please, let's not go to sleep on an argument. I don't want to end things this way." And it just kind of shows that I was scared to lose her, that I had that insecurity around pretty girls. And it's not a look that you want to have as a guy. And this next lesson is extremely powerful in how I actually went from being a simp to being a playboy, which is that every area of your life can be developed and improved. See, there is so many things I've had to do over the last 3 to 4 years at this point to become the man that I am today. I was not the individual that you can see now who speaks clearly, who is confident, there's so many things that I've had to develop which I just can't even describe. I've had to learn sales from scratch. I failed my first 2 jobs to going on to start my own successful sales business and now have this coaching business which involves sales. I've had to push myself and talking to girls when I was absolutely terrified. I went to bars and clubs alone when that scared me. I started solo traveling, making friends. There's so many things that I had to do to become the charismatic, confident, competent individual that I am today. That things that involve social skills, things that kind of I did in the dark that no one saw, like my personal development every single day, reading, gratitude journaling, reflective journaling, meditation. There's so much that's gone into me becoming who I am, which was just hard work. There was no way around it, following the right inputs that were gonna lead to the outputs that I desired, and just doing that consistently until I became the man that I wanted to be. And every single one of you can do the same. And this 4th lesson is harsh but extremely powerful, which is that you need to be fiercely realistic as to where you stand in a relationship with girls. See, if you think that you are gonna go on to date a girl and she just sees you as a casual hookup, or if she just sees you as a guy friend, even worse, then you are gonna be in a position where you're gonna get heartbroken and absolutely wrecked. But if you can be fiercely realistic as to where you stand, you can pick up on the mindset that she has around you, the subtle nonverbal cues, the way that she acts, the way that she thinks. If you can really see into her as a person and be extremely realistic with the type of relationship you want or the type of relationship you have, not the type of relationship that you desire, your fantasies and what you want, that is going to allow you to make all the right moves on the metaphorical chessboard. You need to be extremely realistic if you want to be the best version of yourself who is the most attractive to girls. If you're thinking that you're gonna go on to date a girl who's just trying to use you or she just wants something casual, you're gonna say all the wrong things. But if you know a girl wants a relationship, and then you can say all the right things. Your communicative style can adjust extremely. It can be extremely different based off of where your standing is. If you know a girl wants a relationship, you got to say certain things. If you know a girl is just going to be fun, you say other things. And if you're not clear as to that, if you don't have abundance with girls and you're with a girl who maybe just wants something casual, you're going to say all the wrong things and turn her off, and she's not going to want to spend time with you. So it's extremely important that you develop this ability to realize where your standing is with girls. And this next one is 100% facts, which is that girls are the ultimate reflection of your development as a man across the board. If you are lacking in one or many areas, you are not going to be getting with top tier girls. It is just not going to happen. The top tier girls get with the men who put in the most work and develop themselves across the board. If you're really working on yourself, if you're really improving, you will get with the most beautiful girls. But if you're not charismatic, if you're not confident, if you're not courageous, if you're scared of the world like I was when I was younger, you're not going to get with pretty girls, and you're just not even going to have any opportunities. Nothing good is going to transpire. But when you truly develop yourself across the board between character development, skills, you have accomplishments and accolades, and you really become the best version of yourself as a whole, you will get with extremely beautiful girls as I have now, and attracting them is going to be very, very simple. Life is just going to be easier for you in general. It's not going to be that hard. But this only will happen because of the development that you do. So that's really important to understand, is that girls are the ultimate reflection of your development as a man. And this next one's going to make some of you laugh, which is that girls don't want to hear the truth. They want you to say what they want to hear. Now, this is something I've used quite a bit over the last couple of years, and I've really learned since I was younger. I would always just try and say the truth or say how I felt, or I never knew what the right thing to say was because I was a little bit of an idiot. But now, over the last couple of years, I've realized how valuable it is to say what people want to hear. Let's just say there's a very emotionally charged subject which a girl has an opinion on, which you can clearly see what it is due to, let's just say, cultural or personal preferences. You can kind of just see which way she's leaning. If you say the opposing opinion, you will just ruin everything that you've built, especially if this is early on in rapport building. When you're just getting to know a girl, you say the opposing viewpoint, she's not going to want to be with you. She's not going to want to hang out with you. You just killed all your potential. This has happened to me plenty of times, and I've learned the lesson the hard way, and now I go on to say what they want to hear, or I just omit the truth, or I just take a neutral standpoint. Doing something like that's going to lead you to have far more success, and this is something I've had to use. Being someone who is radically different from where I am now, all the Swedes, they have a completely different mindset. Their culture is very different from my hustler's mindset, always working. Like everything else in terms of just like masculinity is very different than what it is perceived as here. So I have to tone down my mindset, my opinions, and my beliefs to fit in with everyone, guys and girls. That is just what I have to do. And then over time, as I develop more and more meaningful connections, I can ease people in to my truths and how I really feel. And they will accept me because they've gotten to know me and we've developed a real personal connection, which is not going to break over one opinion. But that is kind of how you want to approach girls, especially early on, is tell them what they want to hear instead of telling them the truth when you know it's going to ruin your chances. And the seventh lesson is that if you want to be a playboy, you need to be supremely confident. There is no way around it. There is no playboy who is shy, insecure, scared to talk to girls. It just doesn't go together. It's like saying 2 + 2 = 5. It won't work. You have to be confident if you want to be a playboy. It's that necessary ingredient. You need to be able to go up and talk to girls and be relaxed and be confident and hold eye contact and smile. These are all the keys if you want to have success with girls in bulk volume. Let's just put it that way. You need to be confident. It's only going to help you out. If you decide to have a relationship, it's going to be easy for you too because you have so many options. You know so many girls, you know things. You're going to be fine. If you want a relationship, you're going to have a relationship, and being confident will never hurt you. But if you want to be a playboy, it is an absolute necessity. There is no way around it. The way that I built my confidence is linking it to internally validated sources things that I do on a consistent basis, like my self-improvement, reading, meditating, gratitude, journaling. That is how I built my source of confidence, also pushing my comfort zone, displaying courage in areas where I was scared. For me, that was talking to girls and going to bars and clubs alone when I was younger. That really scared me. That built confidence every time I did it, and I acted even when I was scared. It made me a little more confident. So those are the things that I did to build my confidence and become the man I am, along with a bunch of other steps. But you need to be confident if you want to be a successful playboy. And the 8th lesson is that girls don't care about your compliments if they don't like or love you. And this takes us back to the first lesson story about how I liked that girl and I got her snap and I was giving her compliments and I got nowhere. That is what happens when you try and compliment a girl when she doesn't like or love you. She doesn't even know who you are. Or if you just go up to a girl in the bar and you're like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're going to get absolutely nowhere. But for example, on Friday, after sleeping with a girl and I told her she's absolutely beautiful and we're looking at each other in the eyes in bed, that's a different story. She likes me. She's in bed with me. You can give a girl a compliment there. You can give a girl a compliment when you're casually seeing each other. When you're dating, of course, it's a different story. Then you can compliment your partner as much as you want. These are times when it's appropriate. But if you're giving girls compliments before they like or love you, you are just wasting your time and you're only going to hurt yourself. And the last lesson is something that I underestimated for a really long time, which is that girls actually have a really powerful ability to read you. And they're going to know if you're faking it or not. So if you think if you're going to fake confidence, they're going to be able to read through that shit. And if you're acting like the boyfriend type when you're a playboy, they're also going to be able to read through that shit. That one I've learned the hard way. So girls have developed this because they have had way more experience and they've been hurt just as much as guys have, if not more, because they've always been dating. Since they were like 14, 15 years old, there's been guys been pursuing them. Maybe they caught feelings, maybe they got hurt. Whereas guys, if you were like me and you were scared of interacting with girls, you have zero experience until you put yourself out there, which for me was pretty much at 19. So until 19, I had zero experience. I also had zero heartbreaks, not too many hard lessons that I had to learn. Whereas girls are constantly getting them from once they're, like in high school. Then they're getting tons and tons of experience with guys as a whole because guys are pursuing them. And they quickly develop the ability to read guys because it's a way of protecting themselves. So they can kind of see into you and see if you are a good guy, if you're a playboy, if you're whatever, right? They're going to be able to read into you and actually know who you are deep down really quickly based off the things you say. This is something that I've developed through talking to so many girls, doing sales, talking to people every single day. I've been able to develop a superior ability to read people, but I would also say don't underestimate girls' abilities to read you back because they develop this very, very quickly as well. And boys, once again, if you want all my Playboy secrets that give away my knowledge that would get me banned on social media, you can pick that up for free. It's the first link in the description below.